Seán Moncrieff, thanks for talking to us.
You're very welcome.
We're here at Martina Devlin's launch of her new book about Sisterland, and you've just given a very enamouring speech. It was very well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'd like to ask you just a little bit about your novel, Angel of the Streetlamps. The one particular thing I'm interested in here is the comedic aspect, because when you read it, you get an underlying sense of there's a comedy always at play here somewhere. Is that the case?
No. If you found comedy in it, that wasn't my intention at all. Then I've utterly failed as a writer.
Well, let me just take the drug addict who's taking a taxi. He gets into the taxi and he says to the driver, "Take me to Pleasant Avenue in Finglas." Okay. He says, "Oh, the drivers probably think I'm making that up."
Yeah.
And that's it's almost a joke in itself that one should expect a place called Pleasant Avenue in Finglas. And then you get the double entendre where it actually turns out that there is a place called Pleasant Avenue and it is pleasant.
Yes, indeed.
There's comedy in that somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's more irony, I suppose, in there somewhere, and the joy of the unexpected.
Yeah, but do you like to write with this underlying comedy the whole way, or?
Not really. I wouldn't. I really necessarily think of myself, particularly as a comedic writer or a comic writer. And if those things are there, they're not always deliberately inserted. If you know what I mean. I don't set out with that. It's more, I suppose, in that particular character, the drug addict character, is. Even though he's a drug addict and he's been through rehab many times, but he's quite aware of when he's in therapy, for instance, what they're saying to him and how they're kind of playing him, and he realizes how the game works. And for instance, he describes himself being in therapy. He'd be in this therapy group with other addicts, and then he would start describing the best heroin he ever took in his life. And by the time he'd given this vivid description of the best heroin he ever had in his life, all the other people are chewing their chairs. They're so out of their minds about it. And so he kind of plays with that the whole time. And he also plays with kind of a lot of the assumptions people make about him. That, did you come from a broken home? Did your father beat you? Blah, blah, blah. But it turns out, even though his father died when he was young, his mother is one of those pillars of the community in Finglas. She's the woman who lives in. She was an elected representative. She has a PhD, and she's quite a remarkable woman, actually. And which leaves you with the horrible conclusion that he actually became a junkie waster just because he wanted to, which is often an uncomfortable thing to realize about people.
Wow. Well, I mean, you characterize these people very well. You really got some great characterizations, and you must have an evil eye, a beady eye for spying these people out. Or what's the story there?
I think it's more about how people talk is a way I would get into that. And so listening to the way people talk, and I get the dart in and out to work every day, and invariably you can listen to the way people, especially when they're on the phone, and you can hear the kind of cadences of their speech.
Okay. So this is a very audio-based intuition you have of some sort.
If it's an intuition, thank you. That makes me sound like some sort of savant there. Yeah.
But what I'm thinking of is there's also a priest in the Angel of the Streetlamps. He has what's called a soft, loud accent.
Yes.
And I'm thinking back to Don't Feed the Gondolas. Yeah. And there was a bit of emphasis put on the loud accent in Don't Feed the Gondolas also. Is this a recurring theme or what?
I hadn't thought of that before. Because I think he's more trouble because he's something of an intellectual snob, despite the soft, loud accent and coming from a house that smelled of cabbage. And so, actually, his language is kind of slightly deliberately overblown. He uses lots of polysyllabic words, and there's lots of classical allusions and that kind of stuff. But in that loud accent, probably makes it sound slightly ridiculous, actually.
It sounds very good to me, just the same. But you're not going to give anything away about some penchant for the loud accent here, or a dislike of it?
No, I've no dislike for the loud accent. It's very musical.
Have you ever been to Loud?
I'm sure I've driven through it at some point.
I think we'll leave it there. Seán Moncrieff, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thanks.